Good morning, traders. It's Friday, August 15th, and you're tuning into The Daily, your market wrap from Movement Australia and New Zealand. I'm Salim Kanat, and let's get straight into it. Overnight, the US markets were almost unchanged. The S&P 500 managed to edge slightly higher, while the Nasdaq slipped just a touch. Despite those minor index moves, most of the big name mega caps actually finished in the green. So what's going on? Well, a fresh report showed that wholesale inflation in the US came in a little hotter than expected. That cast some doubt on the likelihood of a rate cut at the next central bank meeting. It hasn't wiped out the chance completely, but it's cooled investor enthusiasm, at least for now. So while the broader indices were flat, there was still plenty of movement under the surface. Let's take a look at some of the standout names. Amcor fell sharply, down 12% after its earnings missed expectations. It hasn't seen a drop like that since the US tariffs were announced in April. Deere & Co., the machinery giant, dropped 7% after reporting a fall in profits. It cited US tariffs as a key factor behind the weaker result. Meanwhile, Amazon gained almost 3%. The company announced a major expansion of its same-day grocery delivery service, rolling out more than 1,000 cities. It's a direct challenge to Walmart's territory in the grocery space, and investors clearly like the move. Eli Lilly were up 3.6% after confirming plans to raise prices on some of its pharmaceutical products. Not usually a crowd pleaser, but it's been a stronger performer this year. Intel jumped 7.4% on reports on the US government may take a direct equity stake in the company as part of efforts to ramp up domestic semiconductor production. That would be a huge show of support if it does go ahead. Elsewhere in the IPO space, Bullish, the crypto exchange, had an impressive start, up around 100% from its IPO listing just 2 days prior. That's got a lot of attention as investors look for continuing life in the listing market. Shifting our focus to Asia now, the Hang Seng Index in Hong Kong finished in the red yesterday. A number of major players dropped following their earnings releases. Lenovo, NetEase, JD.com, and Geely Auto and China Telecom all posted results that disappointed the market. It's a reminder that even in a low valuation environment like Hong Kong, earnings still matter. And right now, investors are being selective. Back home, the ASX 200 had a solid session, climbing higher thanks to some strong corporate results. We saw strong performances from Temple & Webster, Pro Medicus, Origin Energy, and Westpac. Each of those stocks surging more than 6%. Investors responded positively to upbeat earnings numbers and encouraging commentary, particularly on future outlooks and capital management. Today, we're expecting the local market to open relatively flat. The spotlight will be on earnings from Cochlear and Mirvac, which are both set to report. Looking ahead to the next few sessions, there are a few key themes to keep an eye on. First, US inflation doesn't necessarily mean that the rally is over. Far from it, actually. But it does suggest that markets are entering a more cautious phase. Investors are digesting the news, recalibrating expectations, and looking for the next catalyst. That could come as early as tonight, when the latest US retail sales data is released. This will give us a clearer picture of consumer demand and whether spending is holding up under the pressure of higher prices. A strong number could actually support the idea that the economy is resilient, while a weak print might renew concerns about growth. There's also geopolitics in the background. Any sign of real progress towards a Russia-Ukraine ceasefire could boost global sentiment and reduce risk premiums in commodity markets, especially energy and wheat. But remember, it's not just about the US. Asian markets, particularly Hong Kong, remain a key area of interest as investors hunt for value. There's still a lot of hesitation, but low valuations and the potential for policy support continue to attract attention. And finally, we're only partway through Australia's earnings season. BHP, among others, will report next week. While there have been some misses so far, the broader trend is so far positive. The companies that are beating expectations or even just confirming guidance are being rewarded. So there's plenty of opportunity for movement in the weeks ahead. Remember, stay sharp, stay curious, and always invest wisely. Thank you for joining me at The Daily, brought to you by Movement Australia and New Zealand. Take care. Cheers.